I would like to ask you about how is working the driver contracts. You know, how this is the process to go and hire one driver like Kimi could be, right? And how the contract negotiations are running and are going.
It's different from driver to driver, from driver manager to driver manager as well.
Because you are dealing direct always with the managers of them.
No, this is different as well. Kimi was simple. It is probably the easiest agreement we ever made.
Okay.
Because it was between Kimi and me, we had a mutual agreement that if he stops in Ferrari or if he's been kicked out by Ferrari and he still is motivated to drive, I would always offer him a place. And this went very quick. So from the telephone call that he was sacked by Ferrari till we had a written agreement, it was like 4 days.
Okay.
Or 5 days. But normally you would talk to drivers and manager together. And then again, the composition of a contract is different from driver to driver. The drivers have different wishes, not only in terms of salary or payment, but in terms of, for example, points money. Normally a driver gets money for points. And you have different approaches about probably a lower basic salary, bigger point money, or vice versa. You've got, like in all contracts, you've got exit clauses. So performance clauses, if a driver is not performing, you could replace him. The same if a team is not performing, a driver might have the possibility to terminate the contract early. And so it's very different from driver to driver. It's different if you have a driver who brings a big sponsor. So the so-called pay drivers, which are not, for me, it's a wrong termination. It's not pay drivers because, for example, Checo Perez, we've been accused of. A lot of people said, yeah, of course, Sauber needs pay driver, but Checo was bringing a sponsor, of course, with Telmex, but he was an exceptional driver, and he still is an exceptional driver, and I'm really happy for him that he's driving Red Bull next year.
Yeah.
So the contract is different from driver to driver. Normally, you've got a ban of extreme sports, like climbing, like parachuting, like whatever, on all the contracts. But some drivers, they do exist. For example, that some of these extreme sports are excluded, and he's able to do it, and so it's different from driver to driver. In these days, a driver contract, including the images where they can have the private sponsors, it's about 40 pages.
Oh my God. So what is basically the part that is taking for you more time to deal with, to make it clear? Are the sponsoring, or are maybe the points, right, bonuses, or the cash money at the end of the day, where you are fighting?
Again, very different. It is big part is always salary. Obviously, normal Formula One driver is very well paid, but of course his career is limited. He cannot do the same job when he's 60. Although now we see Kimi can do it with 41. So it's there. A big part is salary, is money, always, and then the next level probably is personal sponsors, where which position on the helmet is clearly defined. Which position on the helmet you can have your personal sponsor. You've got positions on the sleeve. Is it the top position? You know, it's all a little bit different. Top position, middle position, lower position. Is it the color of the suit? Is it on? Are you allowed to have your personal sponsor on the team cap, and so on? And so this is, this can be quite time consuming. And then the last bit, especially if you have older drivers, more experienced drivers, the number of PR days, because this is regulated in the contract, how many days a driver has to be available for sponsors. And the number of PR days, as said, with the older driver, for sure, they normally want to have less PR days than younger. They don't bother too much.
Yeah. So you just mentioned it before. So at the end, regarding all those contract, situations that you were seeing, it's a stress for the team and for the driver, because you are putting clause like performance bonuses. So you are pushing them to make points, but also you need to give them a good car, a nice car to perform. So my thing also can be some fights about the performing. You can blame the driver and they can blame the car, right?
The most important of being a team is being a team and not blaming each other. You do everything together. Drivers are making mistakes. Teams are doing mistakes. Being it wrong path and development. Team mechanics can do mistakes at the pit stop, which can cost you points. And obviously there is winning and losing is together. And this is the key factor. But you're right that the fight or the negotiations about contract